All right, we back. We back on another Sunday of the TRAINsition Talk Show, and I am your host, Train. I appreciate all you guys who've been tuning in from Sunday to Sunday, man, following us, man, and keeping up with us. Today, I have another exciting show for you, and a good friend of mine, man, Miss Sunshine Holloway. How you doing? You straight? We gonna get through this? You know what I mean? Come up some to the mic so they can hear you.
All right. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, man. It's been probably about a minute since we've been talking. I've been trying to get you to come to the show, and every time you was like, "I ain't ready yet."
Mm-hmm.
So I'm happy to be able to see you here.
Okay, I'm happy to
And
be here too.
to me, man, it feels even better. You know what I mean? Because I know you're ready. You know what I mean? You have to respect people, you know, where they at and what they going through.
Yeah.
You know, and you got to be able to nurture that just as well. And I knew as a friend, it was my role to do the nurturing. You know what I mean? While you was going through some phases that you was going through. And just to offer, you know what I mean, my hand or my advice, you know what I mean, from my own standpoint in life and where I've been going through just the same.
Right.
And so many things you begin to see similarities, you know what I mean? And it's funny because you don't have to be male or female. You know, it don't have to be the same sexes
Right.
in order to have experiences, you know what I mean, that we all relate to. And from that, you know, I've been able to see just watching, you know, the transformation,
Right.
you know, but from you, you know, what do you feel, you know what I mean, is the biggest, you know, impact of living today, you know, let's just say even a year ago.
Versus,
Yeah.
I think I'm at peace. I'm really at peace with my reality, and just accepting what it is.
It's that's one of the biggest things, you know, that's good, peace.
Yeah.
Because peace is something that you got to fight for.
Yeah. A lot of people don't have peace.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm one person, man, you know, I don't beat people up because I know where they at.
Yeah.
You know, when you've been there, you know, you learn to be different. You learn to have a different offering than what you
Right.
had, you know what I mean, in past tense.
Right.
Because you see what other people are at, right?
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that, for me, that has helped me because I always use my own life experience.
Right.
And I know in my own life experience, there was a lot of times that I wanted someone there,
Exactly.
and there was nobody there.
Exactly.
You know, and I remember what that created.
Right.
It created something that felt ugly, that acted ugly.
Was ugly.
You know,
Yeah.
you know. So, man, peace is just something, you know, that allows life to become beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, when you actually find it.
Yeah.
I know for me, it was times when I found peace in the dark.
Yeah.
You know, because I just felt like, well, this what life's supposed to be.
Exactly. And you just accepted it and
You know, it was like the old saying.
got comfortable.
Yeah, it's like the old saying, take your lemons and turn them into lemonade.
Lemonade, yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, it was like I was just living in a lemon factory. You know, it wasn't never, you know, but it was. So I made that, you know, the life that I just said it was mine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it was like settling in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Until it was to a point to where it felt like death.
The point, destruction.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and even friends, you know, like majority of my entire circle had to change,
Oh yeah.
and I was, you know, I'm probably more of a law person than I am a loving person because I believe love is something that belongs to you. I don't know how to be in love with somebody.
So you don't know how to give it and reciprocate.
I know how to share it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how to give it over.
Okay.
Love is something that belongs to me, because the thing that I understood, when you're a person who's seeking for love or looking for love, you're always coming up short.
Well, I can agree with that.
But you can never come up short loving yourself.
Yeah.
And being able to have that type of love allows me to be able to be loving, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not giving this up. And because I didn't have that, life was, it was ugly.
Yeah.
When I learned that, I began to have experiences that I dreamed about.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it was like your eyes open and now you're chasing your dream. And you're just running into it because you can see it now, and it's right there. It's not like it's a nightmare no more.
Or you having to chase it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, okay, look at it this way. When you felt like you were by yourself and you had people around you always had people around you, but you felt like you were by yourself.
Right.
What was you chasing? What was making you, what I mean is, what was you chasing that gave you gratification to yourself?
Really nothing.
So in the outcome, what was I getting?
Nothing.
The moment that I started seeing what I desired and it felt tangible and I caught it once, I kept going to keep catching.
Yeah.
Now, you know what I mean, life different. And that's how we obtain, you know what I mean? Looking at, just, I'm going to say for me, seeing your company, you know what I mean, is one thing, but seeing you administrate to people is another. I watch you every week give somebody something good to think about, something good to feel. That wasn't always. So in your own word, like, what is it now that makes you use your voice and share?
I think it's like you said, I finally learned how to love myself, and the way I was probably conducting myself previously, I didn't love myself, so I really didn't love anybody else. Now I know what love feels like and how it's supposed to feel, and I don't mind sharing that with other people, so
Right.
that they can in turn love themselves, because a lot of people don't love themselves, They may take care of themselves and, go through the motions and the day-to-day routines of what, we all have to do to survive, but
Right.
are they really loving themselves? Sometimes you can see it in things that they do, choices that they make,
Yeah. Same, and that's why I say for me, I can't feel bad. You know what I mean? I'm not a person that walk around with sympathy. I just have empathy.
Yeah.
Because I've been there.
Yeah.
It was me. You know what I mean? And all I can be is just a better example now.
Yeah.
And allow my example, to be, my answer for myself, but at least an answer that you can see.
Yeah, your contribution back. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So we're going to go to a first video, and then we're going to come right back. Loosen up, loosen up.
On some real shit, I know you and your feelings, and I know you be willing, but I'm a lot to deal with. So I'm leaving, I swear you're not the reason. I'm dealing with some demons, I can't believe you're still here. I don't wanna put you through nothing else. If we don't work out, I want you to have something left. Keep pushing, you gon' run out of breath. Ooh. If you don't wanna hurt no more, if you don't want me on your nerves no more, you better run now. Run now. If you don't wanna hurt no more, if you don't want me on your nerves no more, you better run out. Why don't you save yourself? Get away from me. Why don't you save yourself? Get away from me. Oh, you better run out the door while you still can. Ain't no one stopping you. You stay with me, it's suicide. I'm just wanting you. And I know you probably wonder why I'm telling you this. You can do better with another guy if you stop being foolish and stupid. But to separate from me, I'm way too toxic. Got a lot of weight on me, I hate the process.
All right, we back on the TRAINsition Talk Show, and I am here with my guest, Sunshine Holloway. You know how we were talking over the little, over the break. Mm-hmm. You got a strong name. You know what I mean? And to have a name like Sunshine, what has it meant to you to understand that it took that to make it through those dark days?
I think it's just now starting to, I'm living up to the name probably now.
Right.
Because as a kid, I think everybody thought it was just a nickname, you know. So I wasn't always Sunshine. My band director used to call me Stormy instead, because that's the way I was acting, you know. So that's what I was giving off.
Right.
But now, and then I think it was always the assumption that with a name like that, you must be happy all the time. Mm-hmm. But I was the complete opposite of that. I was really sad, but not anymore, So, yeah, I think I embody it. I still don't know why my mom would name me that, but.
I mean, thank her. And I say that because about 2 weeks ago, me, a good friend of mine, and my pastor, we did a 7-day theory, looking to the sun for reference.
Okay.
Rather than going to somebody, talking to your problem with somebody, when you get angry, trying to take it out on that person, to instantly, when we have a creative field that we didn't like, to go directly outside and pay attention to the sun.
Okay.
And for myself, one of the things that I had learned was I went outside one day and say, man, how you do it? How you do it? All this mess going on down here. Yeah, you still up here just shining. You know what I mean? How do you do this? Mm-hmm. And in the midst of asking, I realized that's what you do.
Shine bright.
No matter what's going on, you have the power to just do what you're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. I may not understand it in the moments because I'm caught in the moment, but the moment that I catch the moment, I can do what I'm supposed to do. And every day for like 7 days, it was something more that was showing me how to be good with no matter what was going on. The wind gonna blow every day. Mm-hmm. So storms can come, trials can come, adversities come. But does that mean I have to take that on? I don't have to. And every time it felt like I was tempted, and I began to realize the peace of it. It doesn't make a difference what life throw at you.
Right.
If you throw peace back at it, it ceases.
Yeah.
But it takes time to learn that.
Yeah.
It takes time to come into that.
Yeah.
What I went through as a kid, I don't mind telling nobody.
Right.
It was rough. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I was angry.
Yeah.
I was suicidal by the time I was 10.
Yeah. Same.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like my stepfather literally caught me pulling the knife to the back of my head, pulling my hand up. because I didn't have an understanding here because it wasn't taught.
Right.
You do as I say, not as I do. And I was a little bit ahead of my time.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So I wasn't catching it. And I look at those things, and now I realize it took that for me. Like, for my dreams, for the weight of it,
Yeah.
for what I see,
Yeah.
for what I know of me, it took that.
Yeah.
That what allows me now to be able to do what it is, that I do and how I do it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I couldn't appreciate. Of course, I couldn't appreciate it as a 7, 8,
Yeah.
9-year-old child. I just thought everybody was mean. And the more they call it protection and guidance, and I thought they were mean, and the more it seemed mean to me and hurtful, the more callous I became, But it did help me, because when I got out into the world, I needed that hard shell to be able to deal with a lot that would come my way,
Right. Man, you have some beautiful kids.
Thank
you. But you guys go through, one of the most lovingest things that you can potentially do. And that's take care of somebody, in the most lovingest way for his entire life. There's no break. How has that molded you?
Oh, it taught me patience. One thing, I thought I had patience. Like, with all that I had already been through, I felt like, I got all the patience in the world until I had my son. And he began to grow, and I would see, what his life would be and what that consisted of. There were times where I just,
Right.
my patience was tested. But he's so sweet, he's my angel, and I know that I don't have to question God why he gave him to me.
Right.
I would say, why not me?
Right.
I'm the one to do it. So, you go through your phases. I think every parent does. I don't think it's no child that don't give they parents some type of kickback, but knowing
that's an understatement.
that he's not doing it because it's intentional. It's just the way God created him, make it, easy for me to do what I got to do for him and have compassion for other people, because that's what it is.
I mean, it was like, I remember times when my son was young, and, he battled with sickle cell. I remember when he was young, and it was a summer that he had to come with me. And this was really like the first summer that she let him come, and with him unsupervised.
Right.
And he go outside playing, get wet or whatever. I'm really not knowing, the full spectrums on what to do. I just got his medicine.
In a crisis.
Right. And I remember one day he woke up and he started telling me that, his arm was like hurting. I felt him, he hot, whatever. So I'm realizing he having a crisis, So we go to the hospital. I go to the wrong one because I was staying on Wheatland, so I took him to Memphis. They don't have no children,
Where's hospital at?
So I'm going through all this, and I'm watching my son, man, like scream and holler, scream and holler, scream and holler. I'm watching them put a light to his arm and cut the lights out because he had thin veins and they was rolling, so they sticking them, one too many times. But it's nothing that I could do. I mean, he crying, and I'm like, what can I do? a girl went to school with us, Brandon Wood, came through. She was a nurse. And it was funny because I needed somebody to hold my hand while I went through something for the first time in my life, where I would risk my life for any of my kids, but I realized it was nothing that I could potentially do, but just stand right here and be right here. You know, to see multiple trials that he had to fight when he was young, because with sickle cell, the medicine is not as advanced as it is for adults, for children. Okay. You know, but to make it through those storms and to get to a place to where he was strong enough to say, I don't want to be held back from doing nothing no more. You know what I mean? I want to show that I can do, and to watch him be able to do. It's a blessing, man, because it teaches you. Yeah. You know, it builds you up different. Yeah. You know, you don't see the world the same as those that haven't never had to deal with some particular things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's humbling. You know, like, because my son is nonverbal. Right. So that's also, you know, a hurdle, because you have to be in tune with your child to know, you know, he's happy from his sad, what, you know, a cry for hungry is versus a cry for pain. You know, it's a lot. So, and maintaining, you know, the other children, home,
man,
work.
We gonna go to a video before we go, when we come back, I'm gonna ask you, what do you feel about black women and mental health today? Okay. You know, we're gonna go to a quick video and be right back.
They say a real warrior's road is a lonely road, but I'm prepared to take it. I'll spread love to the love that love me. Throw middle fingers to the motherfuckers that hate. Till the love is tested by the fire, it don't mean nothing, nah. They say it's easier to love when there's no real involved. I swear the motherfucking truth will make you null and void. I know I'll be left alone when it's hard. Yeah, I know I'll be left alone when it's hard. I know I'll be left alone when it's hard. Shit get revealed when it get hard out here. Walk around ready for war, but I got scars out here. I don't need no nigga for nothing, nigga, I boss out here. And I did crimes by myself, cause these niggas talk out here. Self-made, self-paced, since 7th grade, I was getting paper. Pushing the lawnmower, selling Nick sacks to the neighbors. Had to get out there, trying to help mama, trying to save us. Cause faith without works, it ain't gonna work, I got no favors. It ain't no favors. If you tryna eat, better go out there, create you a chair, pull up to the table. Got out there and seen why I can't kill Abel. Jealousy is always your neighbor. When you becoming successful, niggas gon' hate you. Oh yeah. Till the love is tested by the fire, it don't mean nothing, nah. They say it's easier to love when there's no real involved. I swear the motherfucking truth will make you null and void. I know I'll be left alone when it's hard. Yeah, I know I'll be left alone when it's hard. I know I'll be left alone when it's hard. Niggas still getting nervous when shit starting to seem too good, yeah. Not used to the luxury, I'm used to the walls in the hood, yeah. Wanted to change shit so bad, I can see the change. When I start touching all on this cash, I can see the lanes. And niggas don't try to dip in my bag, I can see the lanes. Bringing up stories, now she adore me, I can see the game. Yeah, I can see the aim. But you wasn't around me when I was down to eating water and grains, or selling weed and cocaine. But now that I'm up, these people run up, trying they love, trying to get them above, but they get nothing from me, not even a fuck. Was you there? Till the love is tested by the fire, it don't mean nothing, nah. They say it's easier to love when there's no real involved. I swear the motherfucking truth will make you null and void. When you light up, lights all over me.
I know it seemed like I turned my back, but it's far from true. Right, we back. We back with my special guest, Sunshine Holloway. Like I said before, we had went to the next video. Knowing some of the things that you've been through, you know, knowing where you come from, How do you feel about black women in mental health today?
Well, like you were saying earlier, it's really not even a sex, but because mental illness is just kind of like across the board.
Yeah,
I think you have to admit that you need help, because everybody got a sad story.
Yeah.
Everybody has went through something that they didn't know how to deal with, and they deal with it the best way they knew how. And most of the time, it is not always the best way,
Right.
So, just coming to that reality that I may need to go and talk to somebody and get not always people that's closest to you, because a lot of time the people closest to you will be biased,
right.
because some people are afraid to give their honesty,
Yeah.
for fear of, upsetting a person, or whatever, for whatever reason. But you have to try to find somebody that you can trust.
Right.
It's very important as mothers, single mothers raising kids, young men, and it's a lot, and it stack up sometimes on you, and before you know it, you going through anxiety attacks, nervous breakdowns. I've had friends that had nervous breakdowns, and you talk about suicidal, you don't want to get to that extreme when now we have the resources available
Right.
to us to get
I
help.
think one of the biggest things is that we don't want to. It's hard. It's not hard to say we have a problem, but I believe that it's hard for people to consider that problem to be a mental. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that once I was I had got kicked out of school, and I had to go to a school where I was leaving. They found out my address, and for the first time, that school offered as an elective for me to see a psychologist. So of course, coming from the inner city, in the
Right.
hood, I don't need to go see no psychologist because I'm not crazy.
Right.
Right? That's
Right.
what we think when we hear mental illness, psychology. You think crazy, but that's not what that is. And probably had I took advantage of that opportunity then,
Right.
it could have saved me from some of, and maybe all of, what I would end up going through later on,
Right.
from bumping my head over and over again.
And I think that's one of the biggest things that we have to be able to express to one another,
Mm-hmm.
is that what you think it is not what it is.
It's not.
And it's more appealing and it's more attractive to seek help than it is to not seek help
It is.
or try to self-medicate yourself.
Yeah.
And we in an era to where that's what we knew.
Yeah.
So, it's what we knew.
did. Mm-hmm.
But now we at a point to where we actually have the power to do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people is, monkey see, monkey do. I call it what it is.
Yeah.
Monkey see, monkey do. And we're abusers.
Yeah.
So am I going to do it because I genuinely and I naturally need this for myself, to see myself better, to feel better about myself, to do better about myself, to have better for myself? Or am I going to do this in an abusive nature? See, I have an opportunity to be able to see people who do battle and they know it, but because of conditioning,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean, and assistance,
Mm-hmm.
I'm crazy. I'm just, you know what I mean? And they take, and because I continuously say this, not understanding, it makes you take that on. You literally become what you say,
Yeah.
but it's not what it is.
Yeah, you have to reverse it. You want to be
Yeah.
healed. You want to be better, And I don't know. You said, when you say black women, well, white women and white people have been doing it for years, They go get help.
I mean, I love every viewer, every sex, every denomination.
Right.
you know, every whatever I do, but you see this color. And where I come from, this color, I know what this color been through.
Yeah. That's
I
why
know.
we should be running to
You know
go
what I mean?
get the
Exactly.
help we need.
So for me, I'm gonna put that attention. I'm gonna put that love where I know that love was missing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's important. It has nothing to do against nothing else, but it is saying where I'm from.
Mm-hmm.
I would want to see it come from a more healed state and a healed presence of living.
I think we have to be transparent with each other. Like, for me, when I'm, you know, as me being a hairstylist, you know, we're like counselors as
Yeah.
well. 'Cause, you know, people come in, they drop all they, you know,
Yeah.
stuff on us, you know, but at the same time, you know, recognizing and, you know, just maybe encouraging people to go talk to somebody, not
Yeah.
even just me, you know, go talk to somebody that can really help you unpack,
Right.
you know, the issues. I do it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I be happy to go to counseling. Like, not at first, I wasn't so
Yeah.
reluctant to go, you know, but after my first session, just regular talking, just like you and I,
Right.
and it was like the lady had a camera in my house. Like, how this lady know this? You know, what did I say to her? You know,
Yeah.
and I didn't even go back because that was just too, you know,
Yeah.
intense for me. Like, I got scared.
Yeah.
But then as the more I ran from it, the more I knew that, okay, no, it's something there. I need to go back. And
Yeah.
the more I went back, you know, and you get homework, you know, you
Yeah,
have to go
yeah.
do some work.
Yeah. I
It
mean,
helps.
you know, like that's the beauty of it all. Like a lot of people don't know, but except for the people that was close to me or the people that I've dated or whatnot like that, because I'm not gonna hide anything. You know, it's prevalent in my own life. You know what I mean? But I was a self-medicator.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I was a self-medicator intentionally because I understood how the drugs reacted to me. You know what I mean? And then when I went on my own quest, my own journey to know myself, is when I began to have the power, you know, to see me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I realized I don't want to see me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, early in life, I became a person who wasn't loving me. I wanted somebody else to.
Yeah.
You know, and that didn't do nothing but here make me see things in the most weirdest ways.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and because of the experiences that it created, you know, it made me react in even stranger ways.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so beginning to unravel these things, and the more that I began to digest me and accept that about me, and appreciate that about me, and love that about me, you know what I mean, and say, you know what, man, this is good for me.
Yeah.
And now what I'm saying is, you know, can be some of the wildest things that I'm saying good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But for example, and I love this man. My biological father, I genuinely love. You know what I mean? But I remember going to court for my father, and they wanted me to testify for my father. And my father was on the witness stand when I got in there. And I heard him say that he was in Dallas for his son and to bury his grandson. And that was a lie. So I left out of the courtroom, and I left. I didn't see my father again until I was in prison. We was at the same prison.
Wow.
You know, so these are my experiences with someone who I wanted to be my father, even though I had someone that showed me, you know what I mean, that I was a son and what that looked like, that relationship. And the very last experience, he put a pistol to his head, had tears in his eyes, and it was for something that he done wrong. And here I am, the one They got to see it. Here I am, the one that's pleading. Don't do this. Please, this another way.
Yeah.
But in that moment, I heard something just say, everything that you've been chasing your whole life, you've been bigger than. Stop chasing. Stop running and live. I had kids now. You know?
Yeah.
So these things that I'm saying that I'm appreciating, that I'm loving, taught me how to love, but to get past and empty out the pain.
Yeah.
Empty out the disbelief. You know, carrying that only brings more of this. You never have a life to you can enjoy.
Right.
It's only taste. You know what I mean? And then it leaves. And then it's like an addict waiting for the next taste. And then when it comes, it leaves.
Yeah.
These built up ugly experiences. You know what I mean? So until I began to empty those things and love those things about myself, I began to then see better about myself. And then I was able to offer better about myself. Like, you know me. Shantae know me. I wasn't that kid. You know what I mean? From a kid to probably like, man, my early 30s, I was the same dude. I was a terrorist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just because inside I was being terrorized. And it was me doing it to myself because I'm creating these pictures I'm seeing now. I'm running to these things that just don't have it to give me.
Exactly, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when I began to realize it, man, peace comes. Even with those things. I can't do nothing but love you because that's all that's in me. I can't do nothing but be with you because that's all that's in me. I don't have grief towards you. I don't have hatred towards you.
Yeah.
I'm at a state to where, man, all these things, you still help create the best me. When we can begin to see those things, then now those things are no longer pictures that plays on our mind. You know, now it's not a mental thing no more.
Right.
It's a self-controlling thing. It's a self-care thing. So in my self-care, you know what I mean, the ugly is what I make lemonade out of. Right. You know what I mean? So it's a beautiful life. But we got to learn how to do that. We got to talk about these things. We got to share our lives. You know what I mean? We always hiding. You know, behind the covers. We always hiding behind the doors. You know, we want to come out in our best outfit every day and ain't feeling about shit. You know,
but you look good though.
You look good, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, like, and it's crazy how we do this to ourselves. We tell ourselves, you know, man, girl, go get yourself fixed up. Say, man, they go buy some shoes, dog. Man, it'll go away. Man, if you look good, no, you got to feel good.
You gotta do that inside
first,
work.
You gotta do that first.
Yeah.
It don't make, man, you know how many people walking around here, you know what I mean, wolves in sheep clothing.
A lot.
And we socialize like this. We be around these things, not understanding. We trauma bonding. Cause it's me. You know what I mean? But come out of that. Come out of that sheep, you know what I mean, and show that you're a wolf. You'll still see them suckers run like sheep. Cause they don't want you to know they're a wolf. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This has been kind of life that we have to be able to stand up and say, hey man, it's okay.
Yeah.
You can look at me at this point now. It's okay.
Yeah.
You know, before the show started, you know, it's like I was telling y'all, within the past 6 months of my life, I'm not going to tell everybody that my life is peaches and cream. But I'm going to tell you the past 6 months of my life, I've learned and I've experienced the greater abundance of my life. So to me, this is just the beginning.
Right.
But in 6 months, I'm accumulating and doing in my dreams than I did when I had over 20 selling dope.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, of course, I'm going to use myself as an example. Of course, I'm going to use myself, you know what I mean, as a shining light.
Yeah, you have to.
You know, and that's the beauty about you because, man, like, you literally now, I know, being Sunshine.
Yeah.
You know,
I think so too.
and I appreciate you, man, for really being able to be able to come out and be strong enough.
Well, I appreciate you and your platform and creating a space that's not, degrading, demeaning. Like we talk about real stuff because it connect. Because this is what's important. We got kids and, it's so many young people losing their lives chasing, what is not real, and what's not going to take them nowhere in life but to the graveyard and to the jailhouse. And, we got a lot of that.
I mean, I think it's because I understand where they may come from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or what they may be going through.
Mm-hmm.
And I know how it feels when you don't have no one to assist you, in what you are feeling right now,
Mm-hmm.
what you are dealing with right now, what you're looking at right now. When you get into that space of loneliness,
Mm-hmm.
and like I said, there's always someone around, but you feel lonely.
That's why, I'm a boy mom. So, this is probably the hardest thing that I have ever done.
Right.
I mean, like, I thought everything else in my life was hard, but being a boy mom is hard. But I'm blessed. I'm grateful to have my husband in, present every day, in their life. Because it's like, certain things I thought I would be able to, handle. I can't handle talking about, sex and all of that with my kids, and I know it's plenty of single mothers out there, they have to do what they have to do.
Yeah.
And my hat goes off to single mothers. It does, because I don't know how they do it. We're a 2-parent home, and these kids of today just be like blowing our mind, like, what? Hold on, slow down. It's scary. Like, I don't want anything to happen to my kids. They so precious to me, and I know everybody think that way about their kids, but they also are growing up, and of course they don't want me hovering over them, but I know what's out there too, and at the end of the day, it's my job to protect you. And some kids don't have that. And I think I do it because I didn't feel like I had that, So, of course, my antennas is up. You look a certain type of way. I want to know everything that's going on. It's no conversations off limit, but, I got to know what's going on and be involved.
And it's important because I believe when a child naturally know, they gonna do what they gonna, kids gonna be kids. They gotta go through that phase.
Right.
But I believe when a kid naturally know what love is and what the identifying of it is, first from his parents, that it has a greater opportunity. You know what I mean? Because it has a good foundation in front of it.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to this last video, but before we do, I want to talk about that because that's important. A lot of people, man, in single phases do have, a feel, but it is a perk to have a balance in life, you know what I mean, and to be able to have a partner, you know what I mean, that you spend a lifetime with to go through, and create these spaces that we can both go through to heal, you know what I mean, within ourselves, one with another.
Right.
We'll be right back.
I'm blind now, I can see a thing. Sure, I don't care less what you call her. She mine now, yeah. And I don't give a damn where you saw her. I'm blind now, I can see a thing. I can care less what you call her. She mine now, yeah. And I don't give a damn where you saw her. I'm blind now, I didn't see a thing. She could have had multiple niggas, a lot of dudes. Dashed in the club, showing love, I don't care. Cause every time we get together in a room full of people, shit tend to daddy like ain't nobody there. So I can care less what you call careless. She mine, now she mine. Yeah, and I don't give a damn where you saw. I'm blind now, I'm blind. I didn't see a thing. I'm gone deaf with your gossiping. Ray Charles, tell your boy, yeah, I'm a grown man. Everybody got a past, don't you? Everybody been around a couple times. Just say I'm lying. Ain't got no right to judge another man. Ain't got no business. Get about their business. Worry about who holding hand. In my life, living live, won't about your own. Hollering about you, trying to helping, just leave me alone. Won't you go on with that yapping and acting like you're better than the weather, like you got your shit together. Leave me alone, go on with that yapping and acting like you're better than the weather. You ain't got your shit together. Sure, I can care less what you call careless. She mine now, she mine. Yeah, and I don't give a damn where you saw her. I'm blind now,
When you light up, yeah, lights all over me.
All right, we back, man, on the Transition Talk. So even before we get up out of here, you know, I want people to know how they can reach you. You know, tell them about your shop and everything like that, because you are an entrepreneur.
Yes,
You know what I mean? So that's a big thing. Anybody who can make it through the desert of their life, you know what I mean, into the paradise of their life, is remarkable.
Thank you.
But I'm always a person that says that everything we went through, man, only taught us the resilience
Yeah,
to be able to go into what we want to.
yeah.
You know, so let them people know, man, what you're doing, where you at, and how they can reach you.
Well, you know, I do hair, and I can be reached on Style C. Book me on Style C, Divas Den Beauty Lounge, and I'm on all social media: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Unlimited Diva.
I just let you say all that, then I want you to come up a little bit.
Oh, you can't hear me?
It's not me. You want them to hear you.
Oh, yeah, I want y'all to hear me. Book me on Style C. Y'all can follow my hair page on Instagram and on Facebook, Divas Den Beauty Lounge, and Unlimited Diva.
So what's up now? Like I had said before we went to the last video, you had said something, man, that was important. You know, you spoke of your spouse and the help that you get, and even still going through what you're going through.
Yeah.
But that creates a different dynamic
Yes, it does.
when you have a sense of balance there.
Right.
Like I'm looking right now, and I didn't even understand it, but you come in here now dark, he over there now white.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's a match.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But how has that really impacted you to be able to have someone, you know, in your corner that's a life partner for support?
It makes everything better. You know, like, you know, to have unconditional love, you know, because as you were talking about earlier, chasing something that people really didn't have to give you,
Right.
and then finally having that, and, you know, somebody that's strong as you, because they got to be strong to deal with me, you know, so strong enough to fight with you, you know, like, it's irreplaceable, you know, so, yeah, I can't say nothing else about it. I mean, it shows. I think everybody can see, you know, it's like night and day from who I once was to who I am now, you know. It's like a light been switched on, you know.
So without, you know what I mean, the hubby saying anything, what do you think within yourself it took in order for you to have what you have?
It took me hitting rock bottom entirely and being in a place where I had nothing. I basically didn't have anything to even look forward to, you know. And God set me down, you know, and kind of woke me up and allowed for his light to really shine on me, you know. And
Right.
that's when the inside work began, and I was able to receive my blessings, you know.
Right.
That's,
And it's a beautiful thing. I had a minister, man, come up to me. I think it was really last week, and he said my regular name.
your government name.
He said my regular name. He said, he said, man, the one thing that y'all young people are disappointed in is leaving one another.
Yeah.
And he said, don't you know that's going to be the one thing that's going to be the most beautiful thing that allow you guys to carry this thing on is learning on how to stay with one another as a unit.
Yeah.
And to see it, to have it.
Yeah.
You know, everything that I went through, I realized is what it took for me to be able to get through.
Yeah.
To stay connected to something that, you know what I mean, wants to see life with me.
Yeah.
You know, wants to experience it with me.
Yeah.
And go through the ups and downs.
The changes, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just like, I think that also comes from just not giving up so easily. Like, we give up on ourselves and other people too easily. You know, we just disposable, you know, disposable. Like, you just trash. Like, oh, I'm done. But
and I mean, and to her defense, that was me. And it took for me to see somebody was showing me concrete when I was showing quicksand.
Yeah, that's the same for me. Like, my husband don't buckle, you know. Like, I can't push him away. I can't fight him away. Like, he's not that easy to push over, you know. And once you see that, okay, this person really loved me, really showing me, it taught me how to give unconditional love to people, even in their nastiness. You know what I'm saying? You know, because we all are filthy rags, you know. So you have to be willing to be patient with people and kind of help each other go through to get through, you know.
Right.
Because we are God's children, you know, at the end of the day. You know, he didn't create, everything he created was good.
Right.
So how can I look at you and be like, oh, he not nothing, like, oh, forget him, you know.
Right.
Even though you may be conducting yourself that way, you know.
Yeah, it's something powerful about being able to be raw and authentically loving. Yeah. Even when it's not deserving. Yeah. You know, like when I said, you know, we did the sun theory. Mm-hmm. Unconditional. Yeah. It's not you can't even say unconditional because it doesn't exist. Yeah. You know, it's a is factor. And when you know
it's immovable.
And when you know that that's what it is, it don't know anything else. It can't do anything else. And you see those offerings, you know, it's a guiding light. It's a guiding light through, you know, man, my own get through within myself. It makes me want to go through those layers. Exactly. It makes me want to come out of that shade. It did. You get what I'm saying?
No, definitely.
And so I can feel the blossoming of life and be that offering. Yeah. You know what I mean? To life.
Somebody else, yeah. I like the way you put that because that's exactly what it has been, you know, so.
Man, I appreciate you, man, for coming through. I appreciate you for sharing, man. It's a journey. Yeah. And I'm happy to see this journey.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? Continue, man, further success.
Thank you.
You know, and growth and continue to express and spread.
I will.
You know, till next time, you guys, man, join us next week. We won't be on next week. We'll be on the week after that. So Y'all just stay tuned. I know it seemed like I turned my back, but it's far from true. How could I ever turn my back on the chosen few? So what I do, look at me. In a picture was bittersweet. I did it for all y'all, but I never did do it for me. This is not turn on me, you say this is just turning to me. Knowing that I am better than I am. Afraid to look at me, ugly faces is all I got. The pain or horror inside the thing that you keep in the dark. Walking with smiley faces while holding a broken heart. Chambers of locked doors ain't open and kinda rough. Looking at deep wounds and knowing that I've been cut. So I know that I feel the pain, the umbrella in the rain.